Hi, this is Steve Cook. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I've lived here most of my life. And one thing you'll learn pretty quickly about the people who live here is that we all think a little differently this time of year. You see, around late August, something changes. You can almost feel it. Not in the temperature. Houston's still hot in August. Not in the humidity. Believe me, it's still humid. It's something else. It's what's on television. Every local news station, every evening, starts talking about the weather. Not today's weather that's happening thousands of miles away. It's actually kind of funny when you think about it. Here's this little tiny storm forming off the west coast of Africa, and people in Houston, Texas are glued to their televisions watching it. Why? Because we've learned something. Little storms don't always stay little. The meteorologists start talking about something called a tropical disturbance. Then it becomes a tropical depression. A day or two later, it's a tropical storm. Then somebody gives it a name. Now, people start paying attention. Not everybody, but more people. Every few hours, they update the forecast. You know, you know those maps they show on television, right? The ones with all those different color lines spreading out like spaghetti across the ocean. Every one of us has stared at those maps, hoping one thing: please don't let that line come toward Houston. Sometimes it turns north. Everybody breathes a sigh of relief. Sometimes it falls apart completely. Then people stop talking about it. Life goes back to normal. And then every once in a while, it keeps coming. I've watched this happen more times than I can count. I'm 62 years old now. I've seen hurricane seasons come and go. Most storms never become part of your life. You hear about them, then you forget about them. But every now and then, one comes along that changes the way you think forever. And for me, that storm was Hurricane Ike. I'll never forget watching it on television. Day after day, the weather people talked about it consistently. Every forecast seemed just a little more serious than the one before. It crossed the Atlantic. It strengthened. It entered the Caribbean. It damaged islands along the way. Then it entered the Gulf of Mexico. And that's when everybody in Houston started paying attention. Or at least we should have. You know, looking back, I can honestly say something. The meteorologists did their job. The National Hurricane Center did its job. The local weather stations did their job. They warned us. again and again and again. Nobody could ever say, we didn't know, because we knew the information was everywhere. And then something happened that's hard to explain unless you live through it. After you've watched hurricanes for years, you start thinking, maybe this one won't be that bad. Maybe it'll turn. Maybe everybody's overreacting. Maybe we'll be okay. I remember thinking exactly that. So I stayed.